I'm not really sure what happened, but I think I am back, and I hope you can see the creating area. Maybe. Okay. First thing we're going to do is our stamping. So I'm going to grab my extra sheet of Very Vanilla. And I have already laid out my 2 stamps. Then I have the Cajun Craze that I will be using for the sentiment. We're going to be cutting that apart before we put it on our card. My sentiment's not quite as deep as I would like it to be. I think I need to add some more inker to my pad. And then I have the Early Espresso, and that's what I'm going to be using with the tree. This definitely needs some re-ink to it. I'm gonna flip it over, really try to get a lot of ink on my tree before I stamp it. And then I will be stamping my tree. The trees on this card that I'm making right here are going to be a little bit lighter than on my sample card, and that's just because it's time to add some re-inker to these ink pads, and I didn't get it done before I started today. It's a good thing I noticed before I have class this weekend. And I'm going to stamp this tree on the card that will be going on the inside of our card today. Alright, our stamping is done. I am going to grab my Big Shot and pop it up here. Not sure how well you can see what's happening. Oh, you're seeing all this mess over here. Let's see if I can just shift you a little bit. Okay. And we will be using the framelits that goes with this tree to just cut it out. Okay, and I think that's all we need the big chunk for today. So I will just be putting that back down on the ground. And I will be grabbing my trimmer so I can cut that sentiment apart. First thing I'm going to do is just trim off the edge. And then I'm going to line up each word. So that it pretty much gets right on the edge of it. We'll trim it up with my scissors here before we're done. Trying to get it exact. If you have the Stampin' trimmer, you can tell where the cutting is going to happen by looking down the center in the open spot of your card. I'm gonna have to trim these up with scissors anyway, so let's just take them apart that way as well. If you have any difficulty with fine motor skills or with your grip, I recommend finding some reverse scissors. These are not from Stampin' Up, but they do make it a lot easier for me to line up exactly where I want to cut and have more control. As far as stamping and fine motor issues, Stampin' Up just came out with the Stamparatas in this new annual catalog, and it has changed the way I stamp and how quickly I can get things done and the precision. I wasn't doing it with this card, and I probably should have, because the ink wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be. And if I had been using the Stamparatas, I could have just re-inked the stamp and set it back again, and it would have been perfect. But I'm a little afraid to try to line things up and re-stamp without the Stamparatas. I am taking the piece of Chrome Cake cardstock. It is cut hamburger style, which means I cut a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper in half at 5.5 by 8.5. And then when you fold it in half, you get a 5.5 by 4.25 card. Now I am going to glue my card interior on the inside. And I'm gluing this strip of DSP. It's the Nature's Poem DSP cardstock. I chose to use the side with the Cajun Craze strips. And then I will be gluing my sentiment words on my tree. Just pick a little glue on the edge and just attaching them to my tree. This is why I wanted them cut apart, so they would be 3 separate strips. Well, I just glued it to my paper. That was silly. Okay, then I'm going to be using dimensionals on the back of my tree to attach it to the front. And there I have my tree. My final step here is to put my baker's twine around my card. And I'm just going to tie it. I do not have any of the Grapefruit Grove baker's twine left, so I will be using the crumb cake. When you order the Nature's Twine set, you get 3 colors. You get the Grapefruit Grove, which is what you have if you ordered the kits, and you got mint macaron and crumb cake. And I am using the crumb cake because that is what matches best what I have left. Oh, and you get Blackberry Bliss. So you get 4 different colored rolls of twine. And now you could do one of 2 ways. I just tied it around the card. You could do that. You can also choose to just pull the twine around and use glue dots to adhere it to the inside, and then tie a bow separately and adhere that to the front. But I just decided for this card, I'm not sure why, but was just gonna tie the twine all the way around. So there you have the card that I made today, and here is the sample. Same idea, same elements, different color baker's twine, and a little darker in the stamping. So whenever you make a card, a handmade card, it is never going to be exactly the same. Even if you make the exact same card. Sorry, I'm trying to get... Sorry about that, I'm not sure what's happening. I'm working on getting my stand to quit doing this craziness on me. But I don't think it's going to